Uncle Spoonfed, tonight me and you gonna break the hillbilly code.
What does that mean, breaking the hillbilly code?
Well, Uncle Spoonfed, we got a letter from one of our friends up in Indiana. Say he got a letter from down home for some of his kinfolk in Alabama. And some of the things they say in that letter, he feel like they trying to say something else, but just quite don't know how to say it. So he called on us to use our southern intellect to more or less break the hillbilly code. Do you reckon you could help me out on that, Uncle Spoonfed?
Well, I have been known to break some codes before, so you just lay it right on me now.
Well, I sure thank you for that, Uncle Spoonfed. Now here's how the letter starts off. It says, "Dear family, we have good news. We now have 2 bathrooms." Now, Uncle Spoonfed, reckon what are they really trying to say?
Well, what they are really trying to say is we live next door to 2 gas stations. That's what that means.
Is that what that means? Well, the letter goes on to say, the local high school sent a letter congratulating a family member on their academic achievement. What are they really trying to say, Uncle Spoonfed?
Well, what they are really trying to say is they got somebody else's mail by mistake. That's all that is.
Reckon that's what that is.
Why, sure enough, that's happened to me before.
Well, the letter goes on to say, we just had a family picture taken. Reckon what does that mean, Uncle Spoonfed?
Well, if you break the hillbilly code, what that really means is we all got our mug shot taken down at the local jail for smoking the family dog's tail. That's what that means.
Well, I thought most people from Alabama were chewers, not smokers, but I guess I learned something there. Well, it also says Uncle John killed a wild creature in his house. Uncle Spoonfed, what does that mean?
Well, that just simply means that Uncle John saw his reflection for the first time in the mirror and shot himself. I've seen a picture of him before, and he is pretty damn ugly if you ask me.
How ugly is he, Uncle Spoonfed?
Well, I'd have to take a pain pill before I could look at him again.
Lord, that's ugly. Well, it also says here, Cousin Wilbur's a learning to drive. What does that mean?
Well, now that's an easy one. Anybody down here knows the answer to that one. That simply means that Cousin Wilbur's gonna be 5 years old pretty soon.
Well, I do believe I might have been 6 before Daddy let me drive to town, but I believe you're right about that. Well, it also says, Aunt Lulu lost a lot of weight. Uncle Spoonfed, tell us what that means.
Well, what that means is Aunt Lulu is small enough now to fit into some of Moby Dick's clothes. She probably ain't been that size for quite a while, 'cause I seen her uptown the other day and she took up most of the square.
Lord, that's a big woman. How big is she, Uncle Spoonfed?
Well, she's big enough where I seen 2 of her youngins taking a bath in her belly button.
Well, let's move off of that, Uncle Spoonfed, before we both get sick. The letter goes on to say, Daddy got something on him that made his whole body break out. What does that mean, Uncle Spoonfed?
Well, all that means is Daddy's allergic to soap. That's all that means.
Well, that's good to hear. It also has good news, says, Daddy got a raise. Reckon what does that mean?
Well, what that means is the price of aluminum cans just went up. I've been watching that myself.
Well, it says here, Granddad loves a taste of quarter pounders. What does that mean, Uncle Spoonfed?
Well, what that means is Granddad loves eating his own fingers.
Well, it also says we live within walking distance of the mall. What does that mean?
Well, what that means is the city dump is just right down the road from where they live. I gotta get down there myself this weekend to pick up Sadie a birthday gift.
Boy, this one sounds exciting. It says, Daddy's tracing our family tree.
Well, what that means is Daddy's standing out there in the front yard with a 20-foot sheet of carbon paper like a damn idiot.
Does seem like it'd be an easier way. Well, it also says Mama just bought 2 new dresses.
Well, what that really means is Mama just bought 2 50-pound bags of cornmeal from the local feed store.
Well, it says here Uncle Manny looks good with his new teeth.
Well, what that really means, if you break the hillbilly code, is Uncle Manny got a box of milk duds stuck to his gum. That's all that is.
That all that is. Well, it says here we just found out Granny has the same birthday as somebody famous.
Well, now what that really means is Granny and Christopher Columbus was born in the same year. That's all that means.
Boy, I tell you what, you sure make it sound easy, Uncle Spoonfed. Hear what it says right here. It said, they cut our phone off 'cause we couldn't pay our bill.
Well, now all that means is they ran out of slugs for the gas station payphone.
That's all that means.
That's all.
Well, says here Cousin Ricky sure looks different with his braces off.
Well, now what that really means is Cousin Ricky's teeth look like a set of spark plugs. That's all that means.
Well, I tell you, this sounds pretty exciting. Here it says, we got lights in our house.
Well, don't get too excited now, because all that means is somebody's parked out in their yard at night.
Says here Sissy dumped her old boyfriend and is now dating someone else. What do you make of that, Uncle Spoonfed?
Well, all that means is Sissy has 2 brothers.
Well, now we got a little bit of sad news. Says Uncle Vernon may only have 2 months to live.
Well, don't you get too sad about that. All that means is Uncle Vernon's thinking about taking a bath in 2 months.
Well, look like we got a little more sad news. Here it says Uncle Dreyfus has a steel plate in his head.
Well, don't you get too upset on that. All that means is Uncle Dreyfus stole another ashtray from Denny's and hid it under his wig.
Is that all that means? Well, now, Uncle Spoonfed, I'm coming to the most exciting part of this letter as far as I'm concerned. Says right here, says, Daddy's learning a second language. Would you believe that?
Well, now don't you get your shoelaces all in a knot over that thought, because all that really means is one of the Mexican guys down at the greenhouse is teaching Daddy how to speak English. That's all that means.
Is that all that means, Uncle Spoonfed? You mean I got my dander all up or something like that? Well, I tell you what, next time I sure enough know better control myself instead of get all excited about something like that. Thank you, Uncle Spoonfed, for coming in and helping me.
You're welcome.
I hope we helped our friend up in Indiana break the hillbilly code.
We did. We broke the hillbilly code all right. Thank you for having me. Y'all come back now, you hear?
Down in Kentucky where the bluegrass grows, me and old Spoonfed working on a coal.